Hello, hello, Happy New Year and welcome along to another episode of Freedom Chasers. It has been a long time since we were here, but we are glad to be back and back on track. But we felt that, I felt that it might be helpful for everyone if we had a little bit of a recap, so I will begin with that. Our party began as 4 strangers on a caravan heading out of the town of Durban and basically looking for a place where they could not even fit in, just be accepted, be something. This didn't go very well. On the way, one of you was people said you had black magic because of the color of your hands and arms. Two tieflings were disparaged for their race, and Weary disparaged for the way he looked and potentially smelled. Nevertheless, you guys did make it all the way to a town called Norvina. On the way there, you discovered that some of the trees were moving and coming to life, and the forest was whispering all on its own accord. You made acquaintance with a druid, a Loxodon named Nor, and a little later on with some ghostly highwaymen. Trying to fit in Norvina, you dealt with a spider up in the tavern. It has a name.
For the spider?
Yes, the spider.
It's a silver pony, but I don't remember.
Silver pony, yes, that is correct. Yeah, the Silver Pony Tavern. I have the name of the bartender, Jobus? Jebus? Joe, it can't be Jeebus. It must be Jobus. It's highly unlikely that I called him Jeebus. Now I think about it. But yes, that's where I know Nvidia. Yes, Jobus. There we go. That's that fat guy. Cool. And then you guys assisted with various side quests, including releasing young girl Diana from the troubles of her mother's spirit, assisting with some vermin problems, and helping a fairly intelligent rat called Mr. Mubbles with his strange bird-like creature problem, Corby problem upstairs, as you discover that Nora's been awakening various creatures and basically trying to domesticate monsters. After that, you guys headed out to... No, you guys went to investigate Ben the beekeeper, who had passed out and was staring at the sky. From there, you guys had a fight in a storm and some more highwaymen, and eventually went on a mission for a lady of the keep to pick a plant that would save her mother. The Ganosha plant, which you later found out to be sentient and left well alone. That can't be right. No, it's not. Sorry, I've skipped through there. No, I skipped something. There we go. After this, you were given some information by a man called Jackson about his master. Is that the right word? That sounds kind of odd to call him a master. But about his employer, Henson. Basically, that bad luck followed him at all angles, and he hoped that perhaps you guys might, with a fresh eye, might infiltrate the noble courts and discover why this was happening and what was going on. On this time, you went to a few parties, you attended a few balls, you were given rather close attention by Prince Aemon, which his mother, Lady Christina, was furious about, thinking you were sort of... a scorn upon the court, especially as the court is designed to, and the whole town of Navinia, Lady Christina and her husband, Lord Martin, are famous for prizing beauty and their version of perfection, which was quite simply just not you guys. Seeking to find out more about the problems pursuing Henson and also to assimilate yourself into nobility, you guys went out on a hunt where you were confronted with a chimera that Nor had tried to domesticate. Really not cool. After this, you guys did some gaming up at the town and eventually were able to work out that the bad luck seemed to focus around two individuals, Jai Loco and... I need his name. And the young gay guy. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. The gay one.
Remfrey. There we go. Yes. Yeah. You discovered that Remfrey had stolen a luck stone from the Witch of the Woods who lived locally, and the Jailoco had been cursed by her. Sensing that she was the problem for both of those, you guys went to speak to her, the Witch of the Woods, who has since become your bestest friend. While you were dealing with her, she asked you to go and pick a branch from the Silver Birch up to the north. When you headed up there, you found a small village that was a little unusual. Young teenagers threatened you with crossbows and seemed to know who Anivari was. This led to a little bit of a backstory spill that Anivari maybe wasn't all she seemed, and potentially had some involvement with an assassin's guild when she was younger. A little later, it was revealed to us that Anivari was in fact a changeling, not a tiefling, which went down brilliantly with the party. And her real name was Jin, and... that is the loudest thing that has ever played on this Discord. Jeebus, the bartender. That was obscene. Anyway, we found out that she was in fact Jin, and her tiefling persona was basically Dinari's mother. Not quite, but inspired by. After that, a lot of conversation went on, and then you guys headed to pick the branch from the bark, where you had a fairly dangerous fight with some undead. Returning this to Seraphina. Did you die before that? You did. You died on the way there. Sorry.
Yeah, we're
on
a
the way
out
there.
of order because the village happened at the Genosha plant when we went up there.
Right, okay. Yeah, my notes and what actually happened might be a little out of kilter. Regardless, on the way to the Bone Orchard, William decided to die, which was highly inconvenient. At least that was a lot quieter. And Seraphina basically, because Dinari had trapped him in an amber stone, it was given to you by Nor to prevent death, Seraphina offered William his life in exchange for a ritual that will allow her to drain some vitality from him. He said no, she said die, and because of the amber, it didn't work. So she then approached the party and said, well, if one of the rest of you wants to partake in this ritual, I'll let William come back to life. And Weary kindly obliged. You then went and picked up the branch, went back to Seraphina's, and she said, we can do this whole ritual, but first of all, let's get a few things sorted. And you guys were able to remove the curse from Jailoco, return the stolen luck stone from Remfrey to her, and basically solve the bad luck that was following Henson. And what you got out of that was an invitation to Jackson's wedding. And then you guys are... Why did you go to the Wizard's Tower? What was the point? That was the only thing I couldn't find.
We were taking the fake... Well, no, not fake. We're taking the luck.
She sent you exactly that. She said to Weary, one of the things you have to do is deliver these bad luck stones to my ex-husband, which he would see as a slight. What followed was a few days in a very interesting tower, where Weary struck up a strangely unlikely friendship with the wizard Zadicus, and William decided that he didn't like the wizard much more than he liked the witch.
I don't like either of them.
That's what I said.
I don't like being in that messy relationship drama.
Yep. On the way to the tower, you guys fought some devils who offered you...
A soul coin.
No, they offered... Well, yes, but he basically said, I'll give you this coin if you will let me live. So they bargained for their life And with that, we discovered that Weary now carries around a woman called Reba, or at least her soul. An old pirate who had attempted to trade with a devil to gain power and had basically failed and ended up in a soul coin. After that, you headed back to Seraphina's, where we had the Ritual of Thorns, where Weary transferred his vitality back over to the witch Seraphina.
Did she ever drink the tea that I put blood in?
Harley doesn't know. In the following sort of time, you guys discovered that there was a new person in town called the Whisperer, who seemed to have some sort of influence on the town, and that a young girl called Fiona had gone missing. Rumours were floated about that she was travelling to Durbin, but that didn't make any sense because she hated the city and really had no reason to go there. So you guys decided to break into her house in disguise, and you came across somebody who basically was able to turn 3 of you back, but Anivari, succeeding on her saves, realized that this creature was forcing you guys to leave, and was instead struck down by a fiery blade, brought to the brink of death, and then left to wake up in a tavern where all of your memories had been modified. Or is that right? Yeah, modified. And the thought was, well, we've got this tea that removes magical impact on the party, so we'll use that to get rid of the memory modification. The problem is that the person who tested it was Weary. Well, first of all, William took a small amount and banished all of his sorcerer powers for a week, and then Weary decided to also have the tea, which resulted in him dying because the magic Seraphina had used to bind him to restoring his vitality stopped working. Seraphina came back, resurrected him over a course of 10 days, and was basically quite annoyed. And you guys headed to Durbin to seek Fiona. You felt a pressing need. When you guys were on the way, Dinari decided not to... Dinari decided that she was at fault for Weary's death and basically went separately to stay with her family. Once you guys got to Durbin, there was some connecting back with Dinari, but over the next few days, there was discussion as to whether the group would reunite or Dinari would stay at home, returning back to her family to work. During this time, you guys felt the need to go to a tavern where you thought Fiona was staying, which culminated in a battle with Nor's assistance with a devil who worked for Barathan. One other thing that happened of some note in this town is that Dinari's family were having some problems because one of the people that they had been about to bury was wandering around town talking to people, basically. And bodies had gone missing. After that, you guys were sort of spent a lot of time reconciliating and attempting to decide whether Dinari would rejoin the party. In the meantime, we're also investigating the Assassins Guild that Anivari was raised in, or Jin was raised in more specifically. And you discovered a Shrike training house through the connection of Osprey, a previous member. And you guys went in there and basically emptied out the nest. The only survivor of that, apart from the party, was a young man who you left alive by the name of Kestrel, who was also Jin's sort of companion, friend, confidant, I guess, in some way, when they were growing up in the Doves together. He turned into a super evil looking guy because of his soul absorbing dagger, but you left him alive anyway, though you didn't let him keep the dagger. After that, you found yourself with 10 children, 12 children, a large amount of children, a flock, one might say. Who?
It's a gaggle.
A gaggle of children, yes, that'll do. Who you brought back to your pop-up cottage that Prince Aemon gifted you. And you've since decided where to place most of them. One of them was apprenticed to not Maltronic. One of them was apprenticed to Zadicus, in exchange for him teleporting you guys to Senmar, the school for children of soldiers who had been killed in battle or adventurers who had been killed on the road. You also bought a boat that Weary was in love with. I really can't condense that in any other way. The spirit or ghost that inhabited the figurehead of the boat was Weary's lost love when he saw it put into town. There was nothing he could do but try and purchase it. Unfortunately, you guys didn't have the gold, so it came to Zadicus to have a deal, who seemed really weirdly on board with it all. Bought you guys a boat and was like, left me on the maiden voyage. Don't tell Seraphina I've spent the money that from the divorce, and everything's fine. Took you out to lunch, last episode. Oh, sorry, one other child who isn't. Well, two other children who aren't going. Three children who aren't going to the school of Senmar. One is a young girl who wanted to go off with Osprey, and Osprey accepted because she felt a guilty burden as she killed the girl's mother. One is a young boy who does want to find his parents, and you guys just think that's going to happen. And the other one is our favourite young child who has become sort of part of the party, I guess, in some ways, Jackdaw. At least currently. You guys don't really know what to do with him. But the rest of them you're taking off to Senmar. Last episode began with recruiting a few crew members. There was a dwarf whose children might join the crew but don't speak with her, and she is mute. There were a couple of humans who had spent some time on their father's ship, but their father was assassinated because it turns out the spice ship was a cover for being part of a spy group. Notably a spy group run by a noble lady in Durbin. And there was also a human who despised a shifter. Sorry, I've confused myself there. There was a shifter who despised pirates and said he wouldn't have anything to do with pirates, but would sail with the group. You guys then went for a lovely lunch in the Cultured Oyster, and we discovered that no, that didn't happen. I've just looked at my notes instead and realized something didn't happen that should have happened. You also were entreated by a man outside who wanted you guys to speak with Zadicus because his inheritance had been, well, he thought he'd been magically written out of his inheritance, and Zadicus was like, nah, I'm not interested, bro. After that, you guys went back to the cottage, and basically the final conversation with Dinari happened as to whether she would be joining the group or going to speak to their parents or exactly what was happening. And then the party said, well, don't worry, we'll come as moral support, and you speak to your parents. What this actually meant is that half the group came and stood by the edge of the cemetery, and one of you came as a cat. Well, technically, William summoned a cat and sent it with Dinari. Unknowingly to Dinari, William could see through its eyes and hear through its ears and all that stuff. During that time, she spoke with her parents, and her father was like, no, not having it. If you leave, you're never coming back. And her mother was like, well, actually, if you take that view, you're going to be a very lonely man. And basically, the culmination of this is that they want Dinari to come back and visit, but are not happy that she's leaving in the first place. Did I miss anything?
You got the main points.
Good. Let me just check the very, very brief outline. Introduced to Norvina, fought some ghostly highwaymen, discovered Burwood Lake's strangeness, met Nor and Seraphina, gained access to the upper courts, got entangled in politics, discovered Renfrey's stolen Luckstone, travelled to receive a silver branch, found out about some unsettling dead, performed a ritual with Seraphina, discovered Eamon's frustration that Lady Christina won't let him see you anymore, and that she doesn't want you to be part of the town, were banished from noble circles, seeked out Fiona in Durbin, had a deal with the devil, performed a ritual, went fishing with Zadocus, bought a boat, and are now returning children from saving children from an assassin's guild.
I'm a level 6, soon to be level 7. FYI.
Yeah, I mean, if you take it from last session was a month ago, then at that pacing, soon to be level 7, a month or two. The only difference is we're going to have 4 or 5 sessions a month in this month. Cool. And that is where we resume. With you guys having spoken to the children about Senmar and decided with Dinari that everything's going to be go, go, go. And with Zadocus saying he will turn up in the morning. It is the crack of dawn. You're in El Cottage. There it is. Look at that. That's a cottage. You're in the cottage. Breakfast is breakfasting. Lunch is lunching. All that stuffs. And you've got an hour or two before Zadocus arrives to take you to Senmar. What are you doing?
I will probably check in with Osprey to see if, because I think she and Serena, I want to say,
Correct,
and Emily are staying at the cabin while we go. I don't remember if leaving Jackdaw is an option. I would take that option, but I don't know if he will actually.
Yes, you came to the conclusion that neither Jackdaw nor Osprey would be on board with that.
Okay, alright, so he's definitely going with us. Robert can stay.
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, who's Robert?
I'll probably... the boy.
Oh, Peregrine?
Who wants to find his parents. Yes.
Okay. Code names, very unhelpful. Who designed that? Yeah, cool.
I will spend the time trying to just go through more of the notes that we took from the hideout.
Yep.
See if I can find any notes about where the kids came from.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage as Osprey is helping. I actually think you're helping Osprey, if we're being completely honest, but yes.
Thank goodness for advantage, because it's -1, 18.
18, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you get a little bit of information specifically about Peregrine. We were on this map for all of 30 seconds. Bear with. This one's going to take a while to load. So you guys are somewhere around here?
Yes.
That's Durbin there, yes?
Yep.
And you discover that where Robert was taken, or Peregrine, was near the city of Indragwil, which is over there.
Jeez, old Pete's. Why didn't they take him to this one?
They did. But they decided he was going to be much harder to indoctrinate, so he was brought to the Shrike House. Give me an Arcana check. Sorry?
15.
15. There is some mention of stretching time, and changing the timeline for Robert. With a 15, it seems that they did something to either put him to sleep or modify his experience so that he thinks he's been with them a lot less time than he actually has.
The fuck? That's just like pure evil.
Yes, that is sort of what they are. But the idea being, obviously he thought he'd only been in Durban for a couple of days, but clearly at some point he got all the way there, right?
Yeah. There's definitely just a look of disgust on Anivari's face as she's going through all these papers.
You could also... It probably isn't for you to do... Is anybody proficient in survival? Probably Weary, I would imagine. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, if you were to consult Weary, using Robert's recollection of where he was taken, and his description of it, Weary, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Alright. 18.
Yeah, with his description, he sort of described the sea and a lake being quite close together. You can assume that he was taken from this little gap here. In fact, I think I have the actual regional map. Is it Strezrios? Is that where we are? I think it is, right?
Yep.
So very specifically, yes, southwest of Oxide. This little area sounds like that is where he's from. So 250 miles away.
Who's up for a boat ride?
Well, you guys, but you were going to boat somewhere else. Can anybody remember where you were going to boat first?
We were gonna go to Costa Rica. So yeah.
We're going to go to wherever they were, Tahiti or whatever they're going in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Isn't Tahiti from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Both. It's both.
Okay.
Dutch has a plan, and it's a magical place.
It is a magical place. Exactly, that's where I was at.
We were going to Valis,
No.
I believe. Weren't we?
Adamance.
I thought we were going to the nearest one, which is Valis.
It was Adamance.
Adamance is slightly further away, but that's where they had more information on. Well, I see it's a difference of about 3 miles. So yeah, Adamance is where you were going to sail when you get back.
On the way back. And then we go to a wedding, right?
I don't think you can
we
sail
have time for all that.
far and then get to a wedding. But you could do this, and then this, and then wedding, and then this, and then all the way back.
Oh my
Alternatively, you might engage in magical transport to get him over there somewhere. Teleportation is a thing.
Mage Tower?
So there are mages guilds. Any city you see that is in red, with the exception of Senmar, Astrium, and one other, Jintar, there is a mages guild in. These three, Senmar has a mages guild, but they refuse all teleportation. You don't know why. Astrium refused a mages guild, and Jintar does not have one. Yes, Storm's Citadel. They have a... I know why you're just... Yeah, okay. Yeah, because we talked about that. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. But, alas, you have an hour and a half till Zadicus arrives. You'll have to table your journey to Strezrios. Do you tell Robert of any of this, or do you just go, we'll find your parents and leave it at that?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go into details. I'm just researching.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm currently probably making some pancakes for breakfast.
Cool.
Both savory and sweet.
Yep.
With the help of the house, obviously. So it doesn't get grumpy.
What about Weary? What's Weary up to?
I think Weary's making plans in his mind. I think he's sitting on the couch and just sort of looking up and just making plans as to what kind of crew he's going to need and how he's going to what we're going to do to get all the supplies that we need for when we go and journey on the seas and stuff like that. And I think he's in his own little world right now.
Mm. And Dinari?
I think that I would probably be in the living room area as well, on the couch, but seeing that, Weary is in his own mind palace, just leaving him to his devices. I guess just slowly
Mind bungalow, mate. Mind bungalow.
Oh, okay.
You upgraded him.
Yeah. But I'll let Weary do his thing. And I'll just be in the living room, waiting for the other kids to kind of come down for breakfast, just to be a welcoming presence.
Mm. Yeah, it takes them a little while to filter down, and when they do, they all appear a little nervous.
They should be.
What'd you do to those pancakes, William?
I didn't do anything, and I like look over to speak like directly to the kids. If any of you want pancakes, you'll sit at
Pancakes?
the dining table. Sit at the dining table.
Yeah, they do sort of go and sit at the dining table, but they still look very nervous.
I will
No need to
come
yell,
over.
William.
They need to know respect and to follow orders.
I think they're pretty good at that.
Good.
Father William steps out of his shell.
I'll head over with like 2 plates full of stacked pancakes, one sweet, one savory, and then I'll also put some fruits and some like hand whipped cream, and then I'll also put some, what would you have on a savory pancake? Some like scrambled eggs, I guess, maybe, and some like bacon and stuff.
As you do this, give me a perception check for hearing, if that is relevant.
Oh, really? I have advantage for looking at things.
Well, you can't look at words. They've not got subtitles above their head.
That's 17.
Yeah. You catch one of the girls saying, "Do you think we'll have to shave our heads too?" To one of the boys, and who definitely says, "Yeah, definitely, I think so."
Who's bald?
You just say that out loud.
Yeah, as I'm putting stuff down. Like
We're all gonna be, right?
Why? Who's shaving your head?
Jackdaw said that it's a monastery and we've all got to become monks.
Oh. Yeah, probably, I say as I walk away.
As you walk away, you just see Jackdaw standing in the kitchen. He's filched a pancake off the plate as you went by, looking very pleased with himself. Tapping his foot.
Table, now. We eat at tables.
Do you? He sort of does this and spins the pancake in his finger briefly and takes a bite as it goes past. And...
Wisdom save!
That's good.
Oh my gosh!
God, I haven't got his stat block open. Hold on.
And I will use 2 sorcery points to heighten this so it's with disadvantage.
Okay, is this against magical sleep?
Nope.
Or being frightened?
It is against the fear spell.
Okay, so I'll take the first roll I made. That's a 15.
That's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he sees, like, shadowy, like, tendrils and stuff, like... What?
He will use a lucky point. Okay, carry on. He failed.
He sees, like, shadowy, like, tendrils and stuff, and, like, shadowy figures with glowing white eyes, like, appearing behind William and kind of, like swarming around him.
Yeah, he looks up at you and he goes, "Why'd you have to be so creepy?" And then he runs out the front door.
Well, he's not in my way. And I'll just start cleaning.
Right, you really are the BBG. You just cast a... Is that a 3rd level spell? On a 12-year-old.
Gonna love respect.
Yeah, that's... Training with fear. That's not evil in the
No,
slightest.
you just run to the table.
He's not here to take orders. Yeah. Dinari and Weary, if either of you is paying any attention, you will hear lots of sort of discussion as to how they're going to have to take a vow of silence or a vow of poverty, and how they'll be forced to say morning prayers together and read books, and one of them goes, "I don't even like the gods." And they just sort of carry on like that at the table, arguing between each other and saying how miserable it's going to be.
What are you going on about?
They all sort of talking at once for a moment, and then one of it makes me laugh every time I open this document because it's called Jin's Children, Always gives me a chuckle. One of the girls, Erin, sort of says, well, Jackdaw said that the school in Senmar's a monastery, so we're all going to have to pray and take a vow of silence and a vow of poverty and shave our heads, and I don't want to shave my head.
Well, it is a monastery, isn't it? Like, we know that, right?
Sort of. Basically, it was a monastery. And they took the used building and turned it into a school for children who'd lost their parents.
Listen, first of all, the school used to be a monastery, but now it's just a school. It's just the building was once used as a monastery. It's not that anymore. So nobody's going to be shaving anyone's heads, and nobody's going to be taking any vows of silence, and no one's going to be asked you to do poverty. But I don't know what you mean by that anyway. I don't, like, you know, I don't think you've got much money to your name as it is. But
we might want money in future, though. Leo says.
That's beside the point.
Mm.
Do you always believe what Jackdaw says?
He knows a lot, and he's often right.
He knows a lot, but he also says a lot.
She nods, and Thomas sort of says, "I told you so. Told you he was just lying. He's always lying. He's always making stuff up to scare you all.
That's probably true.
It's just because he's jealous.
Takes a little bit of...
School won't take him, will they?
Oh, I just don't think he wants to go.
Probably astute, but you don't know because Jackdaw won't reply, as he's currently outside, having been scared off by a terrifying sorcerer."
Good. I hope he's crying.
Yeah, I think the reason I didn't chime in on any of that was because I walked out of the house afterward after kind of hearing over something in the kitchen and then Jackdaw just running outside.
Yeah, you go outside.
I'd like to think that William hid himself like behind a pillar that like covers him, so no one saw him doing it. But yeah, you would have.
Yeah, this house is full of cover. As you can see from this picture, it's clearly massive, and you could hide all over it.
I like to think that this is just like an idea of what it is, and not actually what it is.
Okay.
Pretty good representation, I think.
Yeah, it's got 4 bedrooms, Josh. So it's fairly accurate. Anyway, you go out and you see Jackdaw sitting in the tree that you guys that weirdly Nor was sitting in as a bird not that long ago. Near where you guys put the hut. Cottage hut is really a bit derogatory for it. He's sitting in the tree, his feet are kicking, eating a pancake on the lowest branch.
I'll just sort of walk up, arms crossed, and tilt my head, looking at him. So what was that about?
The crepe makes good pancakes. He told me to sit at the table. I don't want to eat at the table. I was eating in the kitchen. You always eat in the kitchen. So, I told him I'd eat in the kitchen, and he did his weird magic, and tentacle stuff came after me, so I ran away.
Well, I can honestly say that doesn't sound like anything that's your fault. He's a little stressed, I think.
Sort of gives you a little smirk, and yeah, I think he's got. He sort of goes quiet for a moment. I don't know. I don't think he likes kids.
I think that's very likely true.
Sort of looks over to you for a moment. You're not going to try and make me stay at the school, are you? Everyone knows adults lie.
I would happily let you stay at the school. But I won't force you to stay at the school.
good, because I'd run away. Give me an insight check.
13.
Yeah, he when he says that, it seems like a bit of false bravado. He's looking less confident today than he usually is. It might have something to do with a fear spell, I don't know. Might not. And
Do you
just
think...
as... Oh, go on. Finish your sentence.
Do you think there's nothing of value to learn?
I'm sure there's lots of things of value, but I don't want to learn them there. They won't get it.
Where do you expect to learn them?
I don't know. Some wise teacher will show up.
That does happen for some people, doesn't it?
You know lots of stuff.
I'm no teacher.
Ren used to say the best way to learn is by doing.
And that can
But
be
then
true.
she also said lots of nice things, and clearly they were all lies. We'll work it out, right? I'll work it. You hear a crack of sort of like almost like a crack of thunder, and you see stepping out of thin air, Zadicus. And I made new art for him for today, and I need to find it. I completely forgot to put it in the thing. It's because he is wearing the most ridiculous outfit ever. Is this where Zadicus belongs? Add handout. Zadicus suit. You see him sort of step through his portal. He is wearing a yellow suit with black pinstripes and a top hat. He looks very sort of posh and well-to-do, and frankly a little bit silly. And he sort of looks up and, young Master Jackdaw. Pleasure. Tips his hat to him. Jackdaw looks down at you and just sort of gives you a questioning look, Anivari.
I just give a shrug and nod back at Zadicus. Morning.
Madam Anivari. I'm assuming that they're all lined up and ready for their first day at school?
I think they were having breakfast and being...
Breakfast? That sounds wonderful. And he just walks straight past you, blasts open the door, and good morning, one and all. What's for breakfast?
Before we get away from my scene, I'm just going to look back at Jackdaw. At least you aren't with him.
He sort of sighs, and you gotta admit, he's kind of cool in some ways. I don't know. I'd like to be a wizard, but I don't want to train with him. Then I don't think I'm going to be a wizard. Then yeah, you guys, Zadicus just blast on in. What's for breakfast?
I as I see him, I imagine I'm stood behind a counter, and my mouth drops open, and then I quickly try and cover it and stop myself from laughing at what he's wearing. It's we eat at the dinner table.
Do you? Oh, that's very nice for you. Why are you nowhere near it?
I'm cleaning. If you want to eat, we eat at the dinner table.
William, you're feeling feisty this morning, are you? Oh, look, fresh pastries. And he sort of reaches over as the cottage, of course, produces a pastry for him, and he sort of takes it in hand, and he holds for a moment, and why not? And he'll go over and seeing this gaggle of children at the dinner table, will just sort of sit himself on the edge of the dinner table and morning all, and begin to eat his pastry. And good morning, Weary. Good morning, Dinari.
I think it's I'm going on to the children about how it'll be all good and that. Then Zadicus bursts through the door and I look and then I'll go, and then I'll look him up and down, and then I'll turn back to Dinari.
This guy, I don't question things anymore, but I don't know. He's got some manners today.
Anyway. Yeah, mate. I'm fine.
Good. Wonderful.
How are you?
I'm marvellous. You know, I stopped by the Mary Rose this morning. Just from the shore. I was having a little look, seeing how work was progressing. They seem to have got her fixed up. She's not listening anymore. Sails are unfurled. She looked positively endearing. That wonderful.
That's good to hear.
But alas, we cannot have our maiden voyage yet, because it is time for your maiden voyage, young children. Are we heading off to school? Isn't that exciting? I hated school, but don't worry, you'll be fine. Are we... I suppose we should wait for the mother hen. He gestures and the door swings wide open. Are you coming in, Anivari?
I'm like step in the door because I was like right there.
Ah, wonderful. Any preparations needed? Any hair ribbons or ties to be tied? I have a selection of ties, and he waves his hand, and then appearing between them on a piece of string is like dozens of ties of all sorts of ridiculous colours and stripes and polka dots. And he flaps them all together. And
I have a glance over at the children, belatedly realizing that maybe that something like that should have been done, but it definitely hasn't been. So
they're all there in their mixed rags.
I think they're ready.
Oh. Your tone belies your words. Are you... and then he sort of raises his hand and he goes, "Oh, look!" And as he does so, he sort of reaches his hand up and a boon appears and he sort of hangs it over the middle of the table, and then he points it to you, Anivari, and will send a message. And say, "Are we having doubts?"
No, it's just a stressful day.
But the day has just begun! How can it be stressful? You don't know what's it going to be yet. Right, well, I'll go and prepare the circle outside. If you would all like to do whatever you like, really, I suppose. Preparing to teleport more than 7 people. Which is surprisingly different and difficult in Dungeons & Dragons. 7 is the magic number. Any more than that, it's really quite complicated.
We put the children in a bag of holding, and then we go.
Mm-hmm.
And throw them in a river.
Oh, sorry, it's 9 creatures is the magic number, not 8. I thought it is you and 8 creatures. Well, you all file outside.
Yep.
Cool. When you get out, he says, "Right, I'll have to do this in 2 journeys. William, Weary, Dinari, perhaps you 3 might select a child each."
I take Jackdaw.
Because it's the only one whose name you can remember. I will ping the document. You can't take Callum or Robert.
No, I want to take Jackdaw.
No, I know. You can take Jackdaw, that's fine. The other 2 can't take Callum or Robert.
Or Emily.
Or Emily, yeah, that's true.
I'll let one of the children decide.
Michael and Thomas will approach over. Sort of together approach you, Weary.
Gonna have to only take one of you though.
Two's fine. And he looks over to
Okay.
Dinari.
I'm looking for the one of the bunch that's the most nervous appearing.
That is definitely Erin. She's sort of like holding up the bag. She's like playing with her hair. She's the one who thought she was going to get her hair shaved off.
Yeah, on that I'll kneel down, kind of just extend an arm, like it's okay.
She just sort of reaches up and grabs your sleeve. Walk over with you. And he will look to you, Anivari, and go, back in a smidgen. And then he will sort of complete his casting. And a blue light sort of bathes the group. And a circle sort of swirls around for a while. And then as he looks at you, Anivari, you see him wink. And then suddenly this blue swirl becomes sort of flames and cinders. And it looks like everybody's gone up in a shot of flames. And then they disappear. You all arrive safely in Senmar. And he says, just you hold right there. You're in charge, Weary. And then he claps his hands and begins casting. You see him sort of step into a small circle of sort of golden light, and he disappears up into the sky and reappears before you, Anivari, and says, well, now they're all burnt to cinders. Who's up next?
Oh. We're ready. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's you are with it is just you, Leo, and Harrison, I think.
Yeah, I have a hand
and
on each shoulder.
The two boys are sort of looking at you and like, he's playing, right?
Yes.
Okay. They nod and he spends a minute casting. Because recalling to your cottage is quite quick, but this is going to take him a little longer. And after he has sort of finished this incantation, he sort of looks over at you and, right now. And you see him reach his hand up to the sky and a crackle of lightning comes down and then surrounds you, all three of you, in burning flames that don't hurt in the slightest. And then he will swoop you off and arrive standing in front of Weary. He looks around and, I think that's everyone. When shall I come
Everybody
back?
in one piece?
How long do you need?
What time is it in the morning? Just like first thing?
It's currently 10 a.m., yeah.
Does the party have a preference? I would say like 5 hours. I don't think it'll take that long. We can even just walk the town afterward.
Good on it.
Sure,
Oh.
that sounds like a good amount.
He looks a little surprised and... right, yes.
You asked.
No worries, I thought it would be a matter of days, not necessarily hours. Anybody proficient in insight can give me an insight check.
I'd love to.
Darn proficiency.
Nat 20. With a nat 20, William, you quickly realise that he is attempting to hide the fact that he may not have the magical resources to pull that off without drinking a potion or... Yes,
as I
he's
see
blown all
that,
his
like, maybe,
spell
like,
slots.
a little twinge in his eye. I'm like, what's wrong, Zedicus?
So the minute
Like
thing
a
he
little
did when he was...
magically empty.
I was very busy down at the ship. The little minute thing he did next to Anivari was recovering a spell slot using arcane recovery. So he's now sort of...
In a minute?
It's the warlock feature that he can use, but he can scale it up with his arcane recovery. The new warlock feature lets you get a spell slot back in a minute, which is pretty cool.
If you want us to stay here,
No, I'll be back this evening. No problem for Zadicus, mighty wizard. And then he walks away.
Needs to go get the bus.
You can infer that he is just going to hang around in town and then teleport you back.
I think Weary actually hearing that and thinking things over a bit, goes to Anivari and says, maybe he is right in that. Maybe we just stay for one night and just see how the kids get on after like a full day.
Would you all be okay with that? I'd kind of like to do that, but
I would like to do what you think is best.
Do you
William,
think the kids are gonna settle down all in a day?
settle down, no, but it might be nice to have a familiar face. Not completely leave you immediately.
Just 24 hours later.
Would you like to stay for a week, William?
No, I just think that this is meaningless.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
You don't have to apologize to me. It's your time we're wasting, but sure, if we must.
Sarkis looks a little awkward, and then he sort of...
I thought you walked off.
Well, he didn't, because then you started talking about... So, I'll be back tomorrow? Lunchtime?
Sure, thank you.
Great! And with that, he sort of spins around on the spot and he's gone. It was a very different spell to the teleport, and you can assume he's returned to his tower. Cool.
So, if you're wanting to stay around so they have a familiar face still around and stuff, you know, so they don't feel completely abandoned, and we're dropping them off at a... Is the monastery... Sorry,
It's not a monastery, it's just a school.
It's a school, right, yeah.
It uses the
but
building of an old monastery, and that is why Jackdaw was just teasing.
Yeah. But we're dropping them off at the school, so they're gonna join a school and have lessons and have friends and teachers and all that stuff. So are you planning on just standing outside of classrooms, or how exactly is this gonna work?
No, William, I'm planning to help settle them in. Maybe go about town and buy some decent clothing.
Okay. And
And what, William? What do you want from me? I'm not a parent. I've never been a parent before.
alright. You just seem to really want to be one. That's fine.
I want to
I
help.
would just like to know what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. Please lead on.
You guys have arrived at the edge of Senmar. You've actually arrived at the other edge of Senmar, so all the way over there. And you can see a little way up the hill and towards the edge of the mountain is a building that looks fairly grandiose and well attended to. And you know that you were told the school was on the foothills of the mountain. It's probably going to be a 40-minute walk up there. And then, as you look around, it's very apparent that Jackdaw is missing.
William,
Yes.
where's your charge?
I don't have a charge. These aren't my responsibility.
Where did you last see Jackdaw?
I went through the teleportation with him.
Sure had a lot of eyes on that robe of yours, huh? Very useful.
As you say this, you notice that
They're your kids.
there is something on William's shoulder.
What is it?
And
Pushes
as he
me
turns,
over.
he's got a note stuck to him.
Kick me.
No. It says "in town" in very childish writing, and then he's just signed it with a single J. told him to tell you when he was
Alright.
going somewhere.
Let's go.
Cool. You guys can begin heading up the hill towards the school. I think I have a view of the school coming up. Yes, I do. Look at that. There we go.
That looks depressing.
It looks monastery. And
I'm thinking it looks nice, and you're just like, that looks so sad. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think it's cute. As you head on up the hill, some of the children begin to sort of complain about the journey. You guys are heading up. You're not going up a particularly well-established path. It's a little boggy. It's a little difficult on the way. And you hear like the typical sort of like little complaints. And I hadn't even noticed that. I zoomed
right
in.
at the top.
Yeah. Anyway, and as you guys sort of progress, you'll realize that most of their complaints are made out of nerves, not necessarily out of, any actual complaint.
Well, it's because they're wondering what house they're going to be sorted in.
Yes, this is a wizarding school now.
Yeah.
In fact, it is the wizarding school. You're about 15 minutes away when Anivari, you hear a little voice inside your head that says, "Does this work?"
Does it sound like anyone I know?
Yeah, it's definitely Jackdaw.
It does.
Oh, yes! Fantastic. I'm in town. They'll let me know. Oh. I didn't want to walk up the hill. Sorry. There's a tavern here, called the Speckled Peacock. I'll see you there.
Word's not a note next time, huh?
Get one more message, and he says, "I tried. We were all arguing and stuff."
A little bit of patience.
Yeah, you don't hear from him again.
Nope.
Ever again.
That would be convenient. I will not allow such a thing. But yeah, as you guys all head up towards the monastery, you can see there is a man in a long brown robe outside who looks suspiciously like a monk, considering you were told this isn't a monastery, who is tending to a couple of horses outside.
I have a question. I know that this isn't a magic school, but
Is it a magical school?
It looks old. Is there anything in the frequency that I can feel?
Does it have the magic vibes?
No.
Make
No,
like
not
an
at all.
arcana check.
No, you don't sense any sort of magic about it at all. It
Okay.
seems a little ramshackle, a little run down. You see a few bricks missing here and there, a bit of the walls crumbling. Yeah, a man outside tending two horses wearing a long brown robe that looks suspiciously like a monk robe.
Is he bald?
No, he has short blonde hair.
Hello, sir.
Ah! Wonderful, you have new charges. That's great. My name's Francis. I help here sometimes. I don't actually work here. You'll want to talk to Morella. Would you mind waiting a moment? I just need to finish picketing these horses. Then I'll take you to her. You note that he's still holding the reins of one horse who is not secured.
Sure.
Thank you. And he sort of tethers the horse, and he sort of comes over after a while. And
Wait, as he goes to deal with the horses, I'm gonna look down to the kids. Doesn't this place look lovely, children?
one of them nods. once.
Look at all the fun you're gonna have here.
Oh, William?
Isn't that right, Anivari?
I'm sure it's going to be very nice. They don't pressure them.
No pressure.
You
have fun on your own time.
he takes 2 bags that are attached to the saddle of one of the horses, and he sort of chucks them over his shoulder. And he's carrying sort of a sack over each shoulder. And we'll say, right, come with me. Good morning, all of you. There's quite a gaggle of you, aren't there? And he will lead you up to the front door. And he puts one sack down and sort of knocks loudly. And after a moment, a lady comes to the door. Oh, look at you all. Good morning, Francis. Into the kitchen, if you don't mind.
Is she an ASMR?
She is an ASMR. Very clear.
Get any inspiration from that?
No. She's got white. She's got white hair and gold eyes. What else was she?
It was the gold eyes that ticked me
Yeah.
off, not the white.
She will say, "Well, this is wonderful. It's been a little while since we had any new faces here." She sort of hesitates for a moment, and she reads out, "Oscar, Mary, come here." And 2 young children come over. They sort of look a little younger than your gaggle. They must be sort of 7 or 8. She says, "We've got some new charges here. Isn't that wonderful? Do you think you could show them out to the yard, and perhaps show them that new game you've been playing recently? And I'll have a little word with these lovely guests." And Oscar sort of steps forward and looks around and, "Whoa, there's loads of you. Why don't you come with me?" And
Whoa, what just happened to your mic?
what?
Yeah, your mic
no.
cut out and it started using a different
My good.
something.
It's like we went back in time.
Sounded
I think you're good now. I think you just can repeat what you said. I think you'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Oscar heads over and says to the kids, yeah, you're gonna have so much fun. Like, we're gonna just playing kickball out the back here. I'll show you through." And he begins to lead the children away. And all of them, other than Erin, sort of immediately go to follow. And Erin sort of looks up to you, Anivari, and "You'll come and say goodbye, right?"
Absolutely.
Morella looks down and, "There's no goodbyes yet. Don't worry. It's just, you're going to go and play a game, and then you're going to come back, and we'll all talk about what will happen from then. Here, I was just making this," and she reaches into a pocket and she pulls out a little daisy chain, and she places it over the neck of Erin and says, "Well, go and play with the others. You'll have some fun, I promise." She looks over and, "This is a little unusual. We normally accept one child at a time. Perhaps we might talk in private?"
Please.
Are all of you responsible for them, or?
No.
She says, "Well, anybody who wants to talk about. If not, the kitchen's just down that corridor on the left. You can."
Does it smell like this place has good cooking?
Helena will find you something. There's fresh bread and a few pastries left over from breakfast if any of you are wanting anything. And I think there's a nice warm pot of tea.
I'm fine, thank you. I think I'm gonna go sit on the... Well, not sit, maybe just like lean against the wall outside.
You're going to head outside, okay.
Yeah.
What did you say, Dinari?
I was going with Anivari.
Okay. And Weary, where do you see yourself in this amalgamation of existence?
I think Dinari has Anivari covered, so I'm gonna say I'm just gonna go and watch over the kids. I think just best to keep an eye on them.
It's a little bit of a maze. One moment. And she opens. She walks a little way down the corridor and opens the door. And she says, "I'm really sorry to interrupt, Madam Patricia. Might I borrow Iris for a moment?" And you hear another woman respond, and then a girl who looks incredibly well-to-do. She's wearing a little pretty dress with a little pinafore, and she's got her hair all tied up, and she sort of comes out and, "Yes, Miss Morella, how can I help you?" And Morella says, "Iris, would you show this gentleman here out to the backyard where they're playing kickball?" And just for 1 millisecond, Iris's face sort of falls a little bit, and then she puts her smile back in place, and Morella says, "You don't have to actually go outside, just show him the way." Iris sort of nods and smiles, and she'll reach out to you, Weary, and as if to take your hand. It looks like she's sort of trying to tame a wild animal as she sort of goes, "Come on then, I'll show you out to the backyard." The young girl sort of approaches you like a lost child.
I get a bit of a smile on my face and then just hold out my hand and let her do what she needs.
And she'll say,
There is the oldest addition they've ever had.
She'll say, "I don't like going out in the yard because it's awful dusty out there, and the boys like to play rough. And when they're kicking the ball, they like to push you over. But I'm sure that you'll have a lovely time out there. If you'd just like to, it's just around here." And she sort of follows you around, basically tries to she acts as if she's trying to calm you down and make it all okay for you. Which is quite sweet. Anivari and Dinari, Morella will lead you into a small office. There's a sort of bureau which is covered in different bits of paperwork, sort of old parchments and scrolls and tomes. And then just to the side, there's a little sort of low couch and a couple of chairs. And she'll go over and sit there, and you can see there's a half-empty cup there. And she sort of looks up at you and, "Please, take a seat. Would you like some tea? The pot's warm."
Sure.
She leans over to the bookshelf, and there's a few cups there that look a little worn, but very sort of homely and regularly used, but they are clean. She'll place them on the table, and she'll pour for each of you. And sorry, I was a little quick with organizing. My name's Morella.
Anivari.
Anivari? And just to clarify, you are Anivari. You are a tiefling. In this moment.
Yes. As the DM, you're saying that. I was like, what is she asking me right now?
No, sorry. James is asking, just to clarify, you are currently a tiefling.
Yes.
We've got 2 tiefling ladies bringing a gaggle of human children. You don't look like kidnappers at all.
We had 2 humans with us too.
True. One of whom claimed no responsibility, and the other who went to play with the kids. And she looks over to you.
Watch over.
She looks over to you, Dinari.
Oh yeah, I said my name.
Oh, pleasure.
Did it get cut out?
I think I probably just talked over you. I'm sorry. She looks at you and, so to what do I owe this fortuitous arrival?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but in the short of it...
I have time.
In the short of it, these children were liberated from a group who meant to use them for their own gain.
Slavery?
Yes, in a way.
They come far.
What'd she say?
Have they come far?
We came from Durbin.
Oh, wonderful. A little bustling for my liking, but at least it's not too far from here. It's wonderful. And their parents?
Likely dead.
I see. We've had children of difficult circumstances before. I am sure we will do everything we can to settle them in. You would be the Liberator, I assume? Liberators?
I suppose.
That's wonderful. Have they been with you for long?
I try to think back. In a few days at most, right?
3 days, yeah. 2 months in real life, but 3 days in session.
It's been 3 days.
You must be quite attached already. Quite nervous.
I just want them to be safe.
Well, there will definitely be that here. There are more magical defenses on this in this place than I'd like to admit. Although he hesitates for a moment and then you didn't have they she hesitates a few times and then she sort of have they seen violence?
Yes.
Do you think they're capable of replicating it?
Yes.
That is the biggest struggle here. It's keeping the children from killing each other. She smiles and you see that she's only joking a little bit. We'll speak with each child individually, of course.
They've had a rough time.
I'm sure they have.
They can make it.
I hate to ask, but do they come with any property or money?
They have nothing. I can give what I can, which isn't much.
I think you have done quite a lot for these children already. Please don't. We are looked after by generous benefactors. We'll make it work.
You tell me more about these benefactors.
Well, the Queen of Yveslin, the Elf Queen, she sends generous stipend on a regular basis. There are some rich merchants in and around Senmar who helped us get the place set up. There is a young man, a noble, over in Astrium. He's very wealthy. He has donated a rather incredible sum fairly recently. We've had many benefactors over the years. The rich and the
How many
powerful.
children do you have here?
204 at the moment. $212 if we add all of yours.
That math ain't mathin'.
Is there not 8 of them?
We're adding 5, I think.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have 12
Callum,
children in the
Robert,
first place.
and Jackdaw. Nope.
Okay, I thought that was 12. There must have been less. Yes, Thomas, Michael, Leo, Harrison, Aaron. Yes, 5. That is correct. Yes, 204 or 209 with your additions.
You were saying that all these benefactors have provided funds, with no strings attached?
Well, we do publicize our list of benefactors. I suppose that is their benefit in return. Some give out of the kindness of their heart. Some out of a sense of responsibility, I think. The Knight Protector at Astrium, for example. Many of the children here are children of his soldiers who have died. But yes, most give out of the kindness of their heart, I think.
You think?
Is that so wrong? Well, I can't know all of their intentions completely, and we do not refuse any money that is offered.
How many teachers?
Teachers. Well, do you
Should
mean
I
how...
rephrase it? Responsible adults.
She looks at you and, I know we call it a school, but many of the children that arrive are less than a year old, and, many of the children that arrive are not suitable for sit-down lessons. At least not early on. There's 40 of us who work here permanently. In one capacity or another. Many others who come and help at different times.
But there is some education in that you want them to be able to live a life, right?
I see you've brought them here knowing that we might take them in, but not necessarily knowing what we do here. Well, I suppose I should give you the full explanation. We call ourselves a school, mostly because it is easier for the children to think of it that way. The adults, we are mostly a rescue centre, I suppose, is the best way of putting it. There are nurseries for the youngest. There are lessons. There are teachers who come to teach them etiquette. Come to teach them things that may help them find a trade later on. Simple skills. Often those that will enable them to become servants or other such menial roles. Not necessarily. It's not the best education you'll get anywhere in Voldar, but we try and teach most of them to read and write, those who are capable of learning. Some, especially those who come older, need different lessons. Lessons in managing money and avoiding the law. Not getting themselves caught up in trouble and crime. In the ways of the world, if you will. But mostly we just care for them. Many who come here have lost their parents. Many are the product of trauma or abuse or other trouble. We have had children of emancipated slaves, children of courtesan houses and brothels. There are many here. Their lessons are all different. We try and keep every child here until their 16th birthday, but it is not always possible. There are some who stay on until they are 18. And some elves who stay longer than that. After that, if they want to stay, we usually find them a role to work here. Almost all of our staff here were raised here. So, yes, there is some form of education. That is not our primary purpose. Our primary purpose is to reintegrate them into society in the longest period of time that we can. As she talks, you get the impression that whilst at first she seemed almost too nice and a bit smarmy, as she talks about this, you see that she's perhaps a little resolute and a little more determined. There's a bit of steel underneath.
Being cared for is what they need the most, so.
Sure it is. Will you be visiting children?
As much as possible, but...
You are welcome to, but I will tell you that often, for children such as these, the best thing that they can get is some distance. They will wonder why you left them here. They will wonder why you did not look after them yourself. They will wonder why you don't come more often. Sometimes it is easier, a visit 6 months down the line to see how they're getting on, and then perhaps another one a couple of years later. It's often better than It's every couple of months. You are welcome to do whatever you need to. I'll leave you to talk for a moment. I'd like to speak to each of the children one by one, if that's okay. Have you their names?
Yes. I'm sure they'll introduce themselves to you, but Michael, Thomas, Leo, Harrison, and the girl is Erin.
It'll take a little while. Please, feel free to join either of your companions or to head to the kitchen. She points it out again as she sort of opens the door to her study. It is quite clear that she is letting you out. She says, unless there was anything else you wanted to discuss?
What about letters?
Of course. The children have the capacity to write back, and if they cannot write, somebody will write for them. More than welcome to write as often as you would like. The letters come into the main town in Senmar and are brought up every 3 days by one of the brothers from the monastery down there.
I have an above-table question. Who's on the stamps?
There's no such thing as stamps. Sorry.
Then how do they know how quickly to post something?
You pay So the mailing system is done by taverns for the most part. So you pay the tavern keeper a certain amount, and he will tell you the next post is going out on such and such a day, and everything is posted in the same fashion. You can go to a courier's house and pay like the Messengers Guild to take something specifically. That will cost you a lot more, and you know it's going to get there a certain way because the courier takes it, puts it in his package, and starts riding towards the destination.
Okay.
Very traditional. Yes, she will say the letters come into Senmar, and they're brought up every 3 days by one of the brothers from the monastery down at the town.
Thank you.
No problem. She looks at Dinari. Is there anything else you needed to discuss before I speak to the children?
Well, you've told us about all of your success here. Tell me about your failures.
She smiles at you quite earnestly and says, well, I'm not sure we'll have time for all of them, but many children don't integrate here. One reason or another. We have a couple of places where children who cannot be calmed, cannot be brought past their trauma, looked after. We have almost a 1-to-1 staff ratio up there. Once they get to a certain age, most of them tend to be taken to join the army up at Astrium. If they choose not to, then they may go to Senmar or to Astrium and seek work. Some of them, I'm sure, fall in with criminals and the like. There are many that it's too late when they arrive. They've seen too much. We've not lost a child here. Well, not to... We've lost children to illness, but not to any danger, trouble. Though there have been injuries, many, she smiles. We keep them safe. Very few children leave before the age of 16, no matter how much of a struggle it is here for them. but some do. We're pretty good at stopping them from running away, but if they truly wish to be somewhere else, sometimes all we can do for them is facilitate that. Usually in the later years. And of course, once they leave here, we make no guarantees that we've given them the best upbringing possible. We've done what we can. Would you like to see some of the facilities?
We can walk and talk.
Tour would certainly be nice.
I will speak to the children, but I will have one of the other staff here. I'll show you around. And with that, she will sort of head towards the backyard, and she'll lead you on the way. She points out a couple of places. She shows you the classroom that she extricated Iris from, which is a formal sit-down classroom, where you can see there is currently a geography lesson going on. She shows you a couple of other classrooms, including one which seems to be a sort of glorified greenhouse, where they're doing sort of less magical herbology. And as she leads you towards the backyard, she points out that many of the children are at work, not necessarily at study or learning. She'll say that all the children have certain chores, and she'll point out that a couple of the children are in the scullery preparing some of the dishes. A couple of other children are doing some laundry out in the one part of the yard. And as she leads you out to the backyard, we will flash back in time to when Weary first got out there. When Iris led you out, Weary, to the backyard, you'll see about 25 children playing rambunctiously out in what is a fairly dusty courtyard. It's just dust on stones and little bits of dirt where the stones have given way or were never put down properly in the first place. At either end of the courtyard, there is sort of on the walls, lines have been drawn, and what looks to be a series of stuffed together pieces of rag tied in a small fishing net is being kicked from one end of the garden, one end of the yard to the other. Standing nervously just inside the yard, but very close to the door as soon as you head in, is Erin, who's sort of the nervous girl watching on. But as you look out, you can see the 4 boys that you brought are all playing. We're involved. Is there anything specific you wanted to do out there, or are you just keeping an eye?
I'm keeping an eye, but I think I want to go up to Erin.
Yeah, I mean, she's right next to the door when you come out.
So yeah, just go beside her and take a knee and ask, everything all right?
Mm-hmm.
Just watching on.
She sort of raises an eyebrow. Did you think I was going to run around like an idiot like them?
You can do whatever you want. That's the whole point of this place. Well, to a degree at least.
I don't know what I want.
You do?
She said, I don't know what I want.
Yeah. Not many do.
Was that meant to help?
Meant to maybe put things into a little bit of perspective. Know that you're not alone in feeling the way that you feel.
She sort of quirks her mouth and looks at you and... Right. She looks over at the ball game, looks up at you, You can see she's sort of like, she doesn't really know what she's meant to be doing, but she certainly doesn't want to say anything more.
Maybe we can just sit here for a while.
Sure, you can sit down if you want.
Tell me about what kind of things you expect of the school.
I expect there'll be roles. I expect I'm meant to be doing the girl things, and the boys will meant to be doing the boys things. And I suspect that I won't like that very much.
Why don't you expect that you'll be that you won't like that very much?
I don't want to braid hair and clean.
Well, I don't know if you have to braid hair, but everyone's got to do a bit. Maybe everyone's got to do a bit of their part to keep, things spick and span, as they say.
I don't think they say that.
Oh, maybe they don't.
She sort of shrugs for a moment, but all the things I'm good at are not going to be relevant here, are they?
Do you like to do the things that you're good at?
I liked swordplay lessons, yeah. I love them. And I'm a pretty good shot with a bow.
That can be helpful to certain people.
I can climb a 3-story building in under 20 seconds.
That is pretty amazing.
I don't like cooking. Don't like sewing. I don't want to be like that stupid pretty girl. She's talking about Iris who came out.
No one's saying you have to be.
Bet they do.
You seem like a pretty, a pretty cut to the chase. Like to know what you want to know, kind of person. Am I right? Want me to just, sort of lay it out as I think?
She says you say a lot of words, and was that your idea of getting to the point?
All right, now I'll get to the point. You're going to be doing some things in here which you're not going to like.
Yeah, I told you that.
Yep. And I'm just confirming those suspicions. But once you get out of here, you can do whatever you like. And you won't have anyone telling you what to do.
She looks at you and straightens. She just says, what if I said I wanted to be an assassin?
Is that what you want to do?
I don't know. But the others hated it there. I didn't. I was good at it. And they made it fun. Fuck off! That is so loud, Joshua!
You're gonna give me a fucking heart attack, man.
Just to remind you, she said, I was good at it and they made it fun. I suppose I could be a soldier or something. I'd be good at that.
You could be. You could be a killer, if that's what you want to be.
Like Anivari?
Somewhat. It's always about reasons and intentions in the end.
This 11-year-old girl looks to your philosophizing and says, "Thank you." And then she sort of looks at you one more time, and then she goes running off onto the field. And you see her sort of reach one of the boys who's got the ball and just slams into him shoulder first, splatting him face down flat on the floor. She takes the rag ball and gives it a good kick. She sort of looks down at the kid who's like literally just been flattened. Just smirks and looks over at you. And at this point, the door opens from behind you, and Morella is there with Anivari and Dinari in tow, and she will call out for Michael, who comes over, and then she says to you, Weary, these ladies are about to have a tour. Would you like to join them?
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
And she shouts across the yard to one of the three people who seem to be watching over the kids, to a man called Jeremiah, who's sort of in his late 50s. He's greying and balding, and he sort of stands up very, very tall. And he will give the three of you a tour. And she will say, your other companion went out the front if you wanted to speak with him before the tour. She will lead you out the front. She will lead Michael to her office, and Jeremiah will lead you to the front to ask William if he would like to join you. We will take a short break. Be right back. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of Freedom Chasers. I nearly welcomed you back to a completely different campaign. That would have been confusing, wouldn't it? Here we are, and we are here. As you guys get outside, we will rewind time. And come to the moment that William, you first stepped outside. Is there anything particularly you want to be doing? Are you having a little nose around on the scout?
I don't think I'm nosing around. I don't think, because this place doesn't feel particularly magical. I don't think William has any interest in exploring anything. I think.
Hold that thought. Give me a perception check.
Is this with my eyes?
Yes.
Wonderful.
When you approach this place, it didn't seem particularly magical.
And it still doesn't.
Why?
That's a 10.
Yeah, with a 10, as you were coming out, you did notice that there maybe was magic inside the building, not outside.
Okay. Well, I'm not going back inside.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably stand with my back against the wall, my staff leaning against it, so that my back is facing the building.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that everyone's going to take a while, because they're going to go through all the paperwork that they have to sign and, all of that stuff. I'm just going to pull out my little hand harp. I'm just going to start, tuning it and just kind of strumming it a little bit. Not really playing a song or anything like I have before. I'm just kind of fiddling, I guess, because I don't have anything to do.
Okay, yeah. And when you're there, you will see that gentleman come back out in the brown robe, and go back over and unpicket the two horses and get on one and ride one and lead the other back out. He sort of, as he heads past, he goes, "Good day to you," and that's it. He just rides straight out. He's definitely a monk. But he will go back down. You'll notice that sort of there's a little stream trickling by. It's a fairly pleasant atmosphere to be playing on, and as you drift off into your own thoughts a little while later, Dinari, Anivari, Weary, and Jeremiah will all pop their heads out the door simultaneously. Probably not sideways, if we're being honest, but...
Yeah, my back's to them, so unless they say anything, I don't see. They're just looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
William, we're going on a tour. Do you want to go?
I turn around. Above table, is this one of James's tours that I have to go on, or my character will be killed a couple of episodes later? Or is this that tour I can say no to?
You can say no to it, but I will inform you there will be nothing better for you to do.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't think William.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through this fairly speedily. Stop me if there's anything that you guys want to discuss or point out. You will notice that Jeremiah sort of leads you in age order. So he starts off in an area where literally babies are being fed and are sleeping in cots. Will then take you through to the quiet areas, which are places for sort of like day naps and stuff. He'll then show you the young dormitories, where there's basically kids are kept in rooms of 4 until they are age 10, after which they're put in rooms of 2. He will show you sort of like simple things like places where they bathe, places where they keep clothing, places where they where food is prepared, all of that sort of stuff. A series of classrooms where lessons seem to be in progress. He will also show you that some of the more responsible children are involved in some of the bigger responsibilities of the school, including things like looking after the library and organising books. He will tell you that a couple of the children are involved in looking after some of the finances. They head down to the village and purchase certain things for the school. He'll tell you that there's sort of children involved in almost every duty. He will say, for example, one of the boys that... not tribal lands, thank you, that's not what I'm looking for. One of the boys who he's been working with recently has been helping him, he's the medic, if you will, for the school, and he's been training one of the youngsters in medicine and healing. There is a very, very small classroom with only 2 students in it today, where they are giving lessons on magic. There is a woman there who literally looks like a witch. She's sort of in her 70s. She's a little hunched over. She has sort of a little warty skin, little boggly eyes, and thick black glasses. She's wearing like some sort of animal skin handbag and a long black cloak that falls down to the ground. And she's got like gnarled hands and everything. She does look like she's a witch. And she is teaching 2 kids in there in the preparation of spell components. He will say that he doesn't know much about any of the magical tutoring, but from what he understands, people with magical ability need to be taught at least some stuff, otherwise their magic can be unruly or out of control. So the lady in there comes up, her name is June, comes up 3 times a week to do magic lessons. And then there's different play areas where, from the sort of constructive learning play all the way up to there's a yard, go kick things in it. There's a series of sort of safer areas, is the best way of describing it, that he will lead you to, where things are spaced out. There's some individual rooms which seem to have locks on them, one of which you'll notice is just like filled with cushions, one of which seems to have sort of a couple of benches, but it's fairly sparse in there. There's also a room with a sort of couple of pools, that look sort of like large bathing pools, that he'll say are filled with cold water, and that they've used those with some of the more difficult students to give them a place to sort of like vent their anger and stuff, by letting them sort of throw things into the water or play games sort of involving that. And then he'll take you up to the higher floor, where there's a sort of older kids' dorms. He doesn't take you into any of them other than one which is unoccupied. And then there's also a sort of corridor with a door to it, and he says, please be respectful and quiet when we go in here. And he'll show you that there's one student who seems to be sort of alone in a room there with a teacher, and they are just sat on low couches talking. And he sort of points them out through the window. There's another one where there's a kid who's got a sort of bat in his hand and is just absolutely whacking the shit out of a dummy. And then there's a couple of other rooms, and each of these rooms has locks on them. And he'll say, this is where our most difficult students are. And in one of them, you'll see a kid who must be 7 or 8. And it currently looks like he's just basically trying to kill the tutor that he's got. She is sort of holding him at arm's length. He's screaming bloody murder at her. She's obviously trying to reason with him. He leads you quite quickly past that door. And there's a little shrine where prayers can be offered to various gods of the constellation. Yeah, I think that's most of the places. I don't think I missed anything major. Just a lot of stuff, really, to look after 200 kids. When Jeremiah sort of gets round back to the main entrance, he'll say, we've also got some working farm stuff. It's not very interesting and no one's out there at the moment because we're approaching winter. I think we're approaching winter. We are approaching winter, right? We had the Harvest Festival. We must be approaching winter. But there's some animals out there that the kids help look after. There's some plants we grow. They grow their own vegetables and fruit, stuff like that. There's some chickens and some where we collect eggs from. It's pretty cool, I think. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you for the tour.
It's all right if you forgive me saying you're no one who brings anyone here is particularly usual, but even so, you seem to have taken the unusual side. People don't normally show up armoured, that's for sure. The kids that you brought will be alright, I think.
I believe they will.
Morella usually takes quite a while talking to all the kids. Do you want to join us for lunch?
Sure.
He leads you into a place he showed you earlier, but didn't look anything like this when he came through, which was just a series of benches. And now it is just mayhem. It is sheer carnage. There's probably 150 kids between the age of 3 and 16, sat on different benches with food, either in the process of getting their food, eating it, finishing it, clearing it up, shouting at each other, playing games. It is just raucous and mental environment. He says, grab a pew, food's over there. Points towards a sort of open hatch towards the kitchen where the most terrifying woman you have ever seen is standing behind the counter. She stands about 6'8". She looks to be half orc. She's got huge, thick-set shoulders. She's holding a spatula like a warhammer. She's got sort of this like small fangs that are sort of just over the edge of her curved down lips, and a massive garish scar from her eye all the way down across the front of her face. And she's wearing this sort of black apron it's probably sauce, but it looks like it's spattered in bloods and guts. And she's just stood there with a spatula, looking over at you, daring you to come closer and ask for food. William, you would have heard the announcement that there is lunch, so if you do wish to join in the lunching.
I don't actually. I think I'm gonna go into town.
Okay. You're going to head back down to town. Are you going to tell anyone, or are you going to just disappear?
I'm gonna pull a jackdaw.
They're preoccupied.
Yeah, they won't go looking for you. You'll be fine.
Yeah, above table, I would like to go. And William doesn't want to go looking for Jackdaw, but he's hoping to find him as he goes into town.
I mean, Anivari told you exactly which tavern he's going to be at.
Yeah.
The Speckled Peacock.
Yeah. I'm not going to that tavern.
Okay, so you're hoping to find him at a
I might
place
walk
he isn't?
past it, though. I
Okay,
maybe
cool.
walk past it, yeah.
Okay, cool. As you head down into town, it's about a 20-minute walk back down there. You pass by the monastery at the edge of town, and you can head into Senmar proper. It's a lovely little town. It's quite a big town, to be honest. It's not particularly small.
Yeah,
it's a lumbering town on one edge. So there's lots and lots of sort of wood and lumber mills and stuff like that. And then there is a small fishing lake at the other side. There's a big cathedral that dominates it, which is to the guy with a belt that isn't... What is his name? Orion, is that right? I think that's the guy with the belt, isn't it?
Orion's belt, yes.
Yeah, bear with me a second. Let me find the document because I don't know why it's not working. Our website seems to be dead. No, it's not. Okay, it's decided to just work all of a sudden as I went off of it. Is it Orion? Yeah, the Huntsman. So Senmar is big cathedral is devoted to Orion, the Huntsman.
This is good, actually, because I'd like to try and find someone who's like, oh, a wolf just, has eaten my sheep. Someone please go kill a wolf, or something to that effect. William would like to try something out, but it involves...
You want to wander through the town and see if anybody goes, a wolf has killed my sheep!
Yeah, bounty quests. Yeah.
You know where you'd find a bounty quest? Notice board at the tavern.
If I find that, I'll go to the tavern.
Speckled Peacock?
If it's the nearest one, sure.
As you get sort of into town, it's quite quiet. It seems like everybody's sort of either hard at work or elsewhere. There's no sort of open market or anything like that. You see the tavern. It's definitely the main tavern in town. It's right next to the main town square. And you will see Jackdaw standing outside it, sort of one leg crossed over the other, his back against the tavern, and he seems to be eating something.
Is the board on the wall
inside of the tavern?
Well, of course it is. As I approach him, I look down. Have you been barred?
He sort of licks his clearly very sticky fingers and says, "No, I haven't been in. Hello."
Oh. Are you taking
Have you been barred?
sticky fingers literally now?
Very carefully, sort of like, wipes his hand on the side of his pants. And it's like, found something to eat.
Wonderful.
I suppose you'd better have one of these. He comes over to you and just hands you what appears to be an earring.
You're giving out jewelry now? Do you have a stall set up somewhere?
Why don't you like me?
Why don't I like you? You care if I like you?
Maybe a bit.
I don't dislike you. Oh, don't make it worse. You're making me be nice.
That is who you're talking to! Like, go on, be mean!
I don't hate you or anything. But you're not exactly what I signed up to...
You're avoiding the question. Why don't you like me?
I'm answering the question. If you listened instead of stealing. I don't dislike you, but when this is not what I signed up to be, some little kid chaperone. And if I do have to be some little kid chaperone, I sure as hell don't need them to just be doing whatever they want with no oversight.
I don't ask for a chaperone.
And I don't want to be one.
Good. So you don't chaperone me and I don't need one.
Wonderful. Excuse me.
You should still take the earring.
What is it?
lets you talk to other people with the earrings.
Where'd you get it from?
Points across the road to Marvello's Marvelous Magical...
Menagerie?
Nope. Magical Wares. Sorry, the cat walked in front of the screen.
Who is it? Who else has one of these earrings? Who else can I speak to?
I've got one for each of you.
How quaint. And I'm assuming you have one too.
Shakes his head.
Why not?
I went for something different.
What do you have?
He holds up a little grey stone with runes on it, which is clearly a sending stone.
Oh, okay.
It's limited uses per day. I don't think you guys want me talking in your heads. Or, I don't really... I'm not part of the party.
You know...
Little face.
Is there a reason you're feeling really in your feelings today? You're usually bouncing around, being able to run amok.
Okay.
So what is it? Is it that
he said, "Do you care?"
You? Do I care? Not really, but I feel like if I stand here any longer, I'm going to slip on your tears.
He lets out a little laugh. No, I'm fine.
Uh-huh. You might be good at thieving, but you might want to learn how to be a better liar. Let me guess. You said that the other kids are leaving and that they're getting a place to go, and you don't have a place to go. What is it?
You want to get rid of them all?
Get rid of all of who?
All of us.
All you kids. Yeah, ideally. That's what's upsetting you?
I don't want to go anywhere else.
You want to stay with us? Well, lucky for you. I think I'm the only one around here with a bit of a backbone to this face. So you may be able to worm your way in.
I don't think so. Maybe for a little while, but it won't be long before. It's too dangerous. No, that's that.
It is dangerous.
I don't care.
You might care if you end up dead.
I'm not like Anivari and Dinari. I don't run into danger. I'm good at staying
You
clear
can
of
always
trouble.
escape it.
Really?
No.
He sort of looks at you and then sort of tosses something up towards you. Give me a perception check.
Let's say 21.
Yeah. You look around, you see like this little shadow like dart up towards you. You go to sort of catch it as it's flying quite close to your head, and you just catch out of the corner of your eye him vanish. And then he taps you
Or
on
a
the
smoke one at me.
and then he taps you on the back of your he taps you on your shoulder sort of a moment later and says, "I can always escape danger. Promise."
Above table. What do you mean by that?
He went invisible.
Couldn't die in like a fight or anything like that.
He's telling
evasive.
you he went invisible. Like, he went invisible and reappeared behind you, and he's telling you he can always escape danger. Above table don't mean anything.
What would you do if a fireball was thrown at you?
Why would I be there for that?
You said you wanted to be with us.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to be in the thick of it all.
So what? So if we need to traipse off somewhere, do we just abandon you?
Do people
for
throw
days,
fireballs at you
weeks,
while you're
months?
walking on the road?
Sometimes.
That's shitty.
I'm pretty nimble.
Me too, but why are people just throwing fireballs at you?
Because the place is not it's a cruel world. Kid.
Well, yeah, but normally you go into dangerous places and I'll stay outside, and then you guys try not to get yourselves killed, and then when you get back out, I'll be there with you.
But not every place is labeled danger if you enter. I mean, people, highwaymen set up traps for people who are traveling, for unsuspected travelers, and attack them. We don't have some folksy fortune teller to let us know when we're gonna be in trouble.
I think I can manage to look after myself.
Well then.
So what are you doing here? You didn't come looking for me, did you?
You think I came here looking for you?
No, he said you
That's
didn't.
not
You didn't
those
come
kids.
looking for me, did you?
Absolutely not. No, I came here to test something.
Can I help?
No, but I suppose you can come with me.
Cool. Where are we going?
Well, I need to find a job first.
I thought you were an adventurer. Is that not a job?
I can't just go killing things.
No, that will make you a murderer. You're right. So you need like a
and
quest?
I think I'll leave that up to you. So
you need like a quest?
something like that.
Cool! What's the quest?
Well, I don't know yet. And I'll go to open the door of the tavern for him to walk in first.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. He'll slide. He'll turn into the tavern. And then he looks up at you. Are we going to drink ale?
No, because it bloats you, and you're underage.
He sort of nods and then like steps aside for you to lead the way.
Yeah, and I guess I go try and spot out the notice board or the bulletin board or
Okay,
whatever.
Second.
Whatever it may be.
Okay. Roll me a D100.
I would love to.
In fact, all of you roll me a D100.
I got an 89.
Jesus, do I have an 89? I do. Okay.
56.
Okay, Weary with a
16.
16 and Bumpkin. Sorry, Dinari.
46.
46. There is one message on the board that says, "Has anyone seen my owl? It's gone missing." And there's a really bad drawing of it. Good job, whoever rolled 46. 3 pilgrims have said, our church has gone missing.
Okay. That sounds like a group activity.
Strange singing keeps happening in the night in my cornfield. And my scarecrows are moving.
Okay, that also sounds like a group activity.
There's were-rats in the sewers. That's pretty good.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's probably as good as anything.
That's Weary's roll. That's a 16 right there.
Yeah, I'll take the notice for the.
That is the
field
second time I've
scarecrow.
used my D100 side quests notice board in the entirety of my DMing career.
I'll take the notice for the scarecrow job.
Jack Dollar gives you a look.
And
Are we meant to take the notes? Is that so no one else can do the job?
is that that's what you're doing.
I thought we just went and did it. It says there,
but
like,
it stops
it says
other
there who to
people
report
from
back
taking
to.
the job from.
Yeah, so we want to do it so no one else can do it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Why don't we take them all?
So I don't want to do them all. We're only here for a day.
Yeah, but if we took them all and then we only did the ones that we wanted to do, then we'd be the only competent adventuring group in town.
Yes, but then the people we don't help will be stuck with no help, and the people who want to help can't help them.
And then they'll have to come
No,
begging us because we're the only competent adventuring group.
Yeah, that's not a good reputation to have.
Oh. Okay. Where
The way
rats?
you just explained it. Yes. We just really... I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of rare rats, but we can at least try out with one of them.
At least they'll be near my height, right? He sort of gestures jabbing down into the ground towards a small rat.
Why don't we see what it looks like before we start allocating jobs?
Yeah, as you two head off together, chums and pals, to take on Were Rats in the Sewers. This lot are dining at lunch, and it is insane. You notice this sort of half-orc woman behind the counter. Do you approach? The three of you. Alright, Dinari. Weary.
Guys, I'll go up first.
She looks at you.
What is that?
Stew!
I'm sorry again.
Stew!
Oh, yeah.
She sort of puts a wooden bowl, slams it down, scoops up with her ladle, slams it in the bowl, slides it over to you. Bread's over there!
What'd she do?
No, she used the ladle that was in the stew. She still has her spatula.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just has it in her hand while she's doing
So
all that.
talented.
Yeah.
It's like a multi-tool. She's just flipping her hand around like the cyborg from Treasure Planet.
No, she just literally at one point she just has a spatula like out there and then like a spoon like in her hand and she's just like, yeah.
All right. I'd take this stew. Is there any
She
other...
points, bread's over there!
There we go. Can't have stew without bread.
Yeah, and she bangs her ladle down on the side. Looks over to you, Anivari. Stew!
Yes, please.
She gives you a weird look when you say please. And then puts it in the bowl, crash it over. Bread's over there! Looks over to Dinari. Stew!
Drew!
When you do that, she lifts her ladle up. Yeah! And then she'll and then hands you a bowl of stew. Bread's over there!
Bread!
Yeah, and she just seems a little happy when you get in the mood. Yeah, you guys can obviously got most of the bread, so there's just like sort of rock hard pieces of bread left in the bottom of it. But you can grab a bit of bread and find a table. You can see Michael and Thomas, you spot quite easily, arguing with two other boys at a table, just sort of like heated discussion, if you will. It takes you a little while to spot out Harrison. He is sat sort of very quietly at the end of one table next to somebody, next to a black dragonborn child, who he seems to have somewhat made friends with. You look for a while and you don't see Leo. Give me a perception check. Anybody who, well, just all three of you, really.
Ooh, natural 20.
Cool. You spot him out very quickly. I don't need one for the other two. You spot him out very quickly, crawling under a table. You're not quite sure what he's up to, but he's crawling along under a table. And then all of you spot Erin, as you hear the room go fairly quiet fairly quickly, and then chants of "Fight! Fight! Fight!" She's just punched a child about 2 foot taller than her in the face.
I will head over there.
And
Assuming
yeah,
another teacher
but
has
very
not been there.
quickly, you'll see 3 or 4 different adults come sort of running in, pulling them apart. You see there's a boy on the floor. He looks to be sort of like a baby elephant. He is a young Loxodon, and he was about 2 foot taller than her, but he's lying on the floor, clutching his face, and sniveling. And Erin is sort of stood there with her arms crossed, looking up into Morella's face, who has come in, hearing the news. Morella sort of looks over at her and, oh, that wasn't very nice, was it? Did you have a reason? She sort of says, yeah, he was mean, rude. Oh, what did he say? She sort of hesitates for quite a long while. Called me a boy. Kind of. Like, okay. Well, you and I are going to have a discussion about the proper way to react to such things. She looks over. Patricia, do you think you might take Lionel to the infirmary and check him over? See the Loxodon sort of stand up and looking really sad. And she will lead Erin out. She looks over to you for a moment, Anivari, and it looks like she's sort of asking permission to be the one that deals with it.
I will just nod. I was just observing and I'm okay with how it's going. I will redirect myself and sort of bend down and look under the table. Leo?
Pops his head up and looks at you and... Hi.
What you doing?
The Loxodon and his friend were being mean to me and Erin because we beat them at kickball. So, this is me running away.
Okay. Do you want to come sit with us?
Yeah. He sort of climbs out and sits down next to you. Paolo's really big. He's a Leonin.
And you managed to defeat him and Lionel in kickball?
Well, teams. I'm quick. They didn't like that.
Pretty impressive.
They always win, apparently. It's going to be difficult to make friends here, isn't it?
There are 205 children in this school. I bet you'll find some friends.
Yeah, but they're all like... not like us, are they?
Maybe not. But maybe some of them are. And...
Do you think some others here have been trained to be killers?
It's doubtful.
That's what I thought.
But you have each other.
That's why I ran away. Because if we fight back and then they might send us away.
They're not going to send you away.
Even if we really hurt someone.
Well, do your best not to really hurt someone. You're pretty skilled.
They only taught us how to really hurt people.
I know. But you can learn.
He sort of reaches down into his pocket and hands you a steak knife.
Make sure these stay in the dining room, please.
I don't like the stew.
It's missing something.
It's missing
Flavor.
everything. He laughs, and then, yeah, you guys can lunch. After a while, Morella will come back out and lead Erin over to you guys. She sits next to you and she says, "I'm sorry, I got in trouble."
It's a lot.
Well, would have been fine if he didn't go threatening Leo. She sort of, like, rustles up to him and elbows him. "You're not actually eating that, are you?" Well, it's lunch. She looks up to you and... I think it will be okay.
I think so too.
After lunch, Morella will ask you guys if you'd like to head down into town and then pop back in the morning, or if you would like to stay the evening at the school, and they'll find a room for you for the night.
I think we need to go down to the town.
Okay. If you want to check back in the morning, then we'll have a little discussion, and we'll let the kids say their goodbyes. Could I trouble you for a favor if you're heading into town?
Sure.
You know the kids' sizes, right?
Yes. Well, eyeball.
Sure. It's just they're going to need some rough work gear for outside. There's a shop that always does it for us. Regal's tailoring. They do outdoor wear for all the kids. If you could just get a set for each of them. They have them ready-made. And bring them up with you in the morning. That'd be great. It will mean that they won't miss out on the activities tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you. And with that, she will send you guys down into town, where you may or may not find William fighting were-rats. But whether you do or don't, you will find out next week. As we come to the timeless tradition of MVPs. And we will start with Jack.
Yeah, there were some good ones this session. I think I just want to give props to you, James, about having such a really well thought out a school for these troubled kids. I didn't know what to expect. And,
me neither.
I
had no idea what to expect.
You were like, oh, they have these pools where they can just throw shit in them to vent their anger, and it's that's a cool detail, and you know what I mean? It's
thanks. I'll tell you something, Jack. My preparation consists of the picture and the name and the Lady Morella. Everything else is sort of reaching in the moment, so I'm glad the details still worked.
It's crazy.
Cheers.
But I think for it's gonna be there's others, but I won't mention them. But the when Bumpkin goes to Morella, you've told us about your successes. Tell us
about your failures. What was I meant to do with that?
I know, it's that's a really good question. That's a really
meanly good. I'm a role-playing DM. I'm not a teacher of a school. I was I don't know.
Yeah, it's you try to think about. I think sometimes when you're playing a character, particularly in a heavy RP one like this, you tend to think about how to be your character so much that you forget to just ask important questions. And I heard that, and I'm just that's a fucking really good question. If I was
what happens if these kids screw
in
up?
the scenario, yeah. I would like to ask that question.
Yeah, no, definitely. Bumpkin.
The only one that I can really, really remember, it just really well shows us getting back into the rhythm and absurdity of D&D. James, you had asked Josh for a perception check, and he's like, "Am I gonna be using my eyes?" And you were like, "Yeah."
Well, to be fair, I had heard one. I had given him a perception check for hearing earlier, so I did understand the nature of the question. But I agree with you. It is the absurdity of D&D sums that up beautifully. I had a similar one, which is when he was asking about, but I've got these cool robe of eyes, and I asked for a hearing one. He was like, "Can't you be seeing?" And I was like, "They don't have subtitles. You can't see their words, fool." Elora.
I also had Dinari grilling Morella because, me in this moment, Anivari feels responsible for these kids, but she has absolutely no idea what they need. Or what to do about them. And here comes Mama Bear Dinari, like, "Tell me what's wrong with you."
Yes, exactly. The worst one was the benefactors question, because, I felt like I said something wrong. I was like, "Oh no, they're just nice, I think." And you were like, "You think?" I was like, "Shit, fuck, where am I here?" I was like squirming in my seat as Morella. Was great, loved it.
The other little one was Josh, William talking to Jackdaw outside. "You can't drink because it bloats you. Also, you're underage. You're a literal child, but you can't drink because it's gonna bloat you."
Well, that's why William thinks they shouldn't drink ale. Yes, very true. Josh.
I mean, I agree with what everyone's said. I think oh god, what's my being said? Probably James, you, because with NPCs, especially powerful NPCs, there's really no reason to, I guess, for the most part, ever think about them having a stat block or a character sheet or anything like that. So in theory, there's no real reason to ever limit them apart from what you think they're capable of. So for you to give him a limitation of, well, he's just used his arcane recovery, so he's now out, was a little silly, but also really nice to see that he's he's still in the the confines of everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He has got a little bit of a cheaty thing going on in that some of the stuff at higher level with Warlock you can cast once for free. So he could do lots of things, but he couldn't teleport more than 3 times in a day. I was like, this is really awkward. I was not expecting to say today. And I thought it was nice to demonstrate that he's not a god, right? Thus far, his powers have seemed fairly limitless. So I think it was nice to see that at the moment. I love role-playing as Atticus, as you guys know, and when that yellow pinstripe suit came up, I was like, this is perfect. Because it's just gaudy enough that he thinks he looks dapper, which was great. First of all, in the MVPs, it's good to be back. It is really good to be back. I said the very first thing that's going to happen this session is we're going to go to Senmar, and it took us 45 minutes to get there. I was literally like, what are we doing? I thought we would have I'm having breakfast, I'm comforting the kids, I'm outside waiting for Zadicus, I'm telling, Osprey how to look after the horses. Nope. 45 minutes of beautiful roleplay. And then Zadicus showed up, and only because I forced it. So no, I really, really enjoyed that. I think it's great. It is so good to be back. I had a few moments. I loved William demanding that everybody eats at the dinner table with their pancakes, including Zadicus. That was brilliant. Loved that. Yeah. Glad you didn't try casting fear on him to make him sit at the dinner table. You casting fear on a 12-year-old. You can have that one as well. Anivari going outside, asking Jackdaw what he did wrong, and then quickly coming to the conclusion that he didn't do anything wrong. And
I asked him what happened. I didn't ask what he did wrong.
No, I know, but the phrase that you were like, what happened? And he was like, William's a creep and cast fear on me, and you were like, oh. So that was quite cool. I absolutely loved Dinari giving the half-orc dinner lady some of her attitude back. She really enjoyed that, like a war cry. That was just fantastic. I love the idea they're just going to go shoo and raise ladles at each other, or spatulas. I really thought I'd said ladle the first time you threw me. I was like, she's got a spatula in one hand and a ladle. Like she's just that good. But yeah, really enjoyed that, and I particularly enjoyed Weary's conversation with Erin out on the field. There was this beautiful sort of mishmash of her being a sassy teenager going through some problems, and you being super philosophical and adult about it, and her trying to pretend to go along with it, but really not getting all of it. And I thought it was such an interesting little line where she's like on that weird line where she's way too adult for her age, but she's also not an adult. And so many times Weary sort of changed pitch, if that's the right phrase, changed tone to try and find her level. And I thought it was a really, really lovely little conversation that went on there. But on that note, I'm going to break all the art, fail my sentences, and nothing's going to work. On that note, that's where we're going to end. If you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We shall see you soon.